Hey, welcome to Business Breakthroughs. I'm your host, Neal DiPentino. So glad you could be with us today. I have a special guest with us today, and I'm so happy to have her. She is a specialist in networking for business. We've all been to networking type events, and some of them turn out to be like a social event. Some of them are really good for our business. We meet a lot of people. Maybe we get some business out of it, but not all of them are the same. So our guest today, she is a specialist. She's also an entrepreneur. She's a coach and the owner of NIA Network in Action here in Nashville. Welcome to the show, Tracy Davidson. Hi, Tracy.
Hey, Neal. Thanks so much.
So glad to have you here.
Happy to be here.
Well, we've been having a lot of fun off camera, just chitting and chatting. And got to be careful how I say that. So we've been having a little bit of fun and talking, and we've had a chance to actually have a couple of conversations over the last couple of months. But it took, I don't know if it took some convincing to get you on the podcast, but it definitely took a little bit of work.
It did. Yes. I'm one of those people that likes to know what to expect, and I want to feel prepared. So
there we go. So everything I told you before we started the show, all the preparation, we're throwing that out the window. We're starting over. I'm just going to go. I'm kidding. We're not going to do that to you. I wouldn't do that to you.
I know you wouldn't.
I am super happy to have you on the show today. Networking is really kind of near and dear to all of us, and it's a great way for us to, make those contacts that not only to get new business, but also to help us with certain areas, because we can't do everything as business owners. So, but we're going to dig into that here in just a little bit. But before we do, we just want to know a little bit about Tracy Davidson.
Tracy,
tell us
Davison.
Tracy Davidson. Tell us all about yourself.
Don't worry, Neal. I've been called a lot worse. Background is in education. So I spent 25 years in public education in central and upstate New York. I was a high school Spanish teacher, and I was a high school principal, elementary principal, special education administrator, and then I ended my career as a superintendent in central New York. And that was in 2016. So when I was 44 years old, I moved from New York to Nashville to take a totally different direction in life. My mom was living here, and so she came here first. And I'm the oldest of three, so every time I was talking to my mom on the phone, she would say, "Oh, I need to go, and I'm going to this festival or this party or this shindig or whatnot." And I'm like, my mom's having way so much fun in Nashville. What is happening down there? So I moved here in 2016 and never looked back.
Wow, awesome! Well, we're so glad you're here in Nashville. We're over here in Murfreesboro, so we're not too far away from one another and everything. And I'm also the oldest in my family. I'm also known, AKA crash test dummy. So everything that, my parents learned about child rearing, they started with me. And so my siblings really just kind of got the benefit of that. So anyway, that's my story, your story. I'm so happy again, you're here with us today, but we want to talk about networking. And, I've been involved with several networks over the years, including the Chamber, BNI. There's a bunch of different types of networks. Now, you are a business owner. You own Network in Action, NIA, here in Nashville. And so tell us a little bit about your networking philosophy and what that's all about.
Well, it's kind of related to like the work that I did in education and what I was exposed to there. We had a big problem to fix in education. We had a terrible high school graduation rate, and we wanted to fix that. And really when we were able to make some major changes, it was due to the fact that I was able to get in with a group of high performing school administrators that were really reforming things in their schools. So that's where I started to learn the power of having a strong network and circle of high achievers around me. And it's the same thing for business owners. We need to be connected. We want to learn and grow from and with each other. We want to be able to take our game face off and talk business owner stuff because, we don't all have the support at home, or elsewhere to talk about best practices and what's keeping us up at night and creative problem solving. So my philosophy with networking is just like every student in school needs a champion in their corner. I think every business owner needs a champion in their corner, or better yet, a circle of champions to to lean on and grow with and solve problems with.
Exactly. So now you're working specifically with business owners and CEOs. You're not really working with like sales managers and stuff like that. Is that correct?
It's correct, unless the sales manager has like ownership type decision, like is at that owner level. So if they have if they're directly, what do I want to say, contributing to the bottom line in the company, definitely not an entry level salesperson. So they need to be on that executive leadership team, but preferably owners. Currently, all of my members, with the exception of two, we have two bank members who support our business owners, but everybody else is a business owner. And I was very kind of strict on that, because listening to my members when I first started, that's what they wanted. They wanted to be with other business owners.
Right. Decision makers, people who can, who are living in the trenches every single day, having to make decisions every single day, tough decisions. Maybe sometimes they're not so tough for them, but maybe tough for somebody else, and they can share their experience with others a lot better than maybe someone that's downline.
Yes. Yeah. And, you know, networking is everywhere, especially in Nashville. It seems like there's a networking group on every corner, and that's great. That's one of the awesome things I love about Nashville. But we're more of like a mastermind type approach.
Okay. So what makes a good network? I'm a business owner, I'm looking to maybe start networking with other maybe business owners, CEOs, decision makers, that type of thing. What makes a really good network? How should I look for one?
Mm-hmm. I love that question. I think the first thing is really deciding what you want to get out of a networking group. Are you looking for referrals and new clients? Are you looking for partners that you can team up with, mentors? Are you looking to learn and grow? So I think the first step is to really decide what you're hoping to gain from being a part of the group, and to also think about what you're willing to give as being part of a group. So I think that's the first step.
Yeah, that you made a great point there. I think a lot of people show up at network events that I've been to, and they're looking for something, that they're looking to receive something, but maybe they don't have a whole lot that either they can offer or they want to offer, but they really need to be able to reciprocate and be able to offer something back to those people they're meeting with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and some people just want to be a part of more of a socialization experience. So,
right.
And then there are a couple of groups that I'm thinking of that are really big and popular, but and that's great. They're awesome. They might be a lot of fun, but are you looking for the fun and the socialization factor, or are you looking for results and referrals and an inner circle that you can grow with?
I get that. So, looking at, we've had this conversation before as well, and I've seen it on your LinkedIn page. In this world today, we're with the internet and technology and AI and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of ways to really connect with people online. But your philosophy is not necessarily getting away from that, or just doing one thing. You're about technology and face-to-face type meetings as well, to kind of combine together. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Knowing who your who is, who are you targeting and where are they hanging out? Which platform are they on? And how can we help you show up stronger there? Because yes, the world is all about, who do you know, but it's also more these days, it's who knows you. So if you're not showing up on the right social media channel or platform, someone else is going to, right?
Right.
So,
absolutely. Yeah. It's all about staying in contact with people, having those touches. I actually just had somebody on a podcast earlier today, and she was talking about, touches, and how, if you're not constantly reaching out and meeting new people and moving the process along, all of a sudden your pipeline kind of gets holes in the pipeline. You got to try to figure out how to plug them. So really, this is just a way to avoid that, to keep that flow going constantly, right?
Yes, I agree. Yes, always. What is the next step here? If you meet someone for the first time, you're going to try to set up that one-to-one and then determine, whether it makes sense to meet with that person on a regular basis? And if so, how often? What does that look like? And one of my networking partners, I love her. We meet about once a month, and we meet for happy hour, and we each bring a list of 5 to 10 names, and we go through the list after we've ordered our wine, of course. And this is not wine, just so you know. This looks like it, but
I'm glad you clarified that.
felt the need to explain. But we'll, I'll say, okay, April, I'd like you to introduce you to Neal DiPentino, and this is who he is. This is what he does. Would this be a good referral to you? And then she'll tell me yay or nay. And then if it's a yes, then we make it a goal to make those introductions within 24 hours. So
that's awesome. So how many people do you have in your group right now?
20.
20 people.
We have, so 18 are business owners, 2 are with PNC Bank, and we have room for 10 more. I would like to grow that group to 30. And then I've got people on a waiting list who want to, be considered for a second group.
Yeah, a lot of networking groups are real specific to a certain channel, certain business, certain industry, that type of thing. Yours is more broad. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. It is industry exclusive, so you won't find two realtors, for example.
Right.
Yes.
And what's the advantage of that? So I'm a realtor, and I'm the other guy over here. He's maybe in retail. There's a restaurateur. What are the advantages of having people in other industries meet together?
Because we're still all looking for leads. We're still all looking to show up strong in our marketing. We're all looking to get better at sales, customer service, so there are still those fundamental business basics that we are looking to constantly improve on, how to maximize our tax strategy, how to have a great tax strategy and get the tax credits that might be out there that we may not know about.
Right, sure. Okay. Well, that's super important, because I think a lot of people, when they get into business, they get in because they know how to do something, or they have a product that they specialize in, but they really specialize in one thing or another. But that doesn't necessarily mean that, they're super good business people, so, when they can find somebody they can network with that might be able to help them, like you said, in the tax, maybe a tax accountant or a CPA, maybe a lawyer, maybe somebody like that really helps them. But on the flip side, a lot of like those folks in special and services maybe don't have the best customer experience skills, whereas maybe a restaurateur or somebody like that who's dealing with more of the public on a day-to-day basis, maybe they have some things that they could actually share to help those folks as well. Is that true, you think?
Yes, absolutely. And then in between the meetings, people are meeting one-to-one, of course. And a lot of my members want some extra help kind of clarifying their goals each month, and then having that aura of accountability to make sure that they follow through on the things that they need to do with their goals. So I think that's another thing that people are hungry for is, we all know the things that we need to do in our business, and just having someone there to be an accountability partner with us can really help maximize results.
Accountability is really super important, and executability, is that a word? Being executable, I'm going to make it is a word. It's now a word. Look in the dictionary on Wikipedia. People, we throw ideas around all the time, especially in my office. We're idea people. We're in marketing, and we're very creative. We've got a lot of creative people around here, but sometimes it gets to be overwhelming. And so what we're looking for is something that is executable. So when you're dealing with ideas or maybe things that can help, the people who are offering these ideas are in the trenches already. They are using the same processes or philosophies or systems on their day-to-day basis. So the stuff that the advice that they're giving is really real life type stuff, not some theory that somebody dreamed up, while they were drinking a glass of wine on a podcast.
Exactly. Who does that?
I don't know. So a couple other questions I wanted to ask you. I was, again, looking at your LinkedIn page. I pulled up some different ideas, some thoughts that I wanted to kind of share and wanted to ask you about. One of the things that kind of caught my eye, I know there's a lot of networks out there, that are run by volunteers for all intents and purposes. So if I wanted to start a network thing, I could do it today. I don't have to make a profit at it or whatever. But in your business, this is your business.
Yes.
So what distinguishes a volunteer network from, say, one that like yours that is a for-profit networking group?
Well, and I think that some of those groups are very valuable. It's a matter of determining what's best for your business, what's going to help you grow your business, what do you have time for. Some other groups are very time heavy on the time requirement, and as far as Network in Action goes, with me being the owner, my members' success is my job. I need to make sure that they enjoy coming to the meetings and that they are getting results. Those are the two main things. Have fun, learn something, and get results in your business. Because I just had a call with them the other day on Zoom. We had, as you know, a tornado on our side of town. So our in-person meeting this month turned into a virtual meeting. And that was what we were talking about is, getting results and making it a great experience for the members.
Right. I think that, again, nothing against, those volunteer groups by any means. That takes a lot of time and energy and effort for somebody to put that together. But when everything is said and done and everybody goes home, they go off to their job and they're doing their thing. And maybe they're staying connected and everything. But it is, like you said, it's your job. How often do you actually reach out to the people in your group on a monthly basis after the meeting?
Yeah, it depends on how. So I set that up with them in advance. Are you here for the networking or are you here for the coaching or both? So I have some people where we have a weekly coaching call, and like I just had one this morning, and I said, okay, member's name, when we talk again next Wednesday, what do you want me to ask you that you have completed? And so she had 4 questions. Ask me if I did this, 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 and this. And so she's an example of someone that I speak to every week. I talk with others every other week. And some people, I see them at the meeting, and that's it.
Right.
So
everybody...
Yeah, go ahead.
No, everybody's a little bit different.
Everybody's a little bit different. And I get to meet them where they are. And that goes back to my, teacher days where, you're meeting every single student where they are and helping them take the next right steps for them. So that's how I like to operate.
Yeah, well, that makes sense too. So if you're kind of a volunteer, you might be able to go out and visit somebody where they live every once in a while, but because this is your own business, it'd be impossible for me if I were to be a head of a volunteer group to go out and visit 20 people in a month's time. I would never get my work done. The things that I do to make a living, and my wife would be very unhappy with me. But, since this is your job and this is your business and your success depends upon their success, it makes a lot of sense that you go out in the field and visit with them on a one-on-one basis. And I would imagine that is a great connector for you too. It keeps you connected with your group and keeps them wanting to come back and wanting to be involved.
Yes. Yeah, certainly. And when I'm out in different networking groups and environments, I'm always thinking, who needs to know who here, which I think anybody who's a connector is doing that. But just opening other doors to them, whether it's online, every member has the option to spiffy up their LinkedIn profile with us. We have a member of the group who is a 19-year-old marketing genius from your town, from Murfreesboro. He's been in all kinds of news articles. The New York Times, I believe, covered him, but he helps you look great on short form video, so anyway, I just love them. That's what it comes down to. I love people. I love the members of the group. I love watching the relationships that they have formed with each other. There's a local restaurant here that was really impacted by the tornado, and she has 3 employees with small children. And so our group decided to adopt those 3 families and make sure that those kids have a nice Christmas, Nice. And so I sent an email out this morning about it and just said, Venmo me whatever you can give. And I have a nice chunk of change to go shopping with for this family this weekend. And, they're givers. And that's what works. Anytime we join something expecting to, looking for what we can get, it never works. And
No,
I
no.
love that about these people.
I love it. So really it goes beyond just business. I mean, it really is. You do develop friendships with these people and relationships to help them out.
Yeah, yeah. They share any events that they have. One of them has a podcast, and one was doing a workshop, and they're showing up at each other's events and promoting each other. And so it's a great culture. I like that with Network in Action, we're able to kind of bring our own flair to the group. There's another franchise owner in Nashville. She's awesome, and she's more of a strategic operator. So,
Her.
yeah, we
So everybody's a little bit different. So, so they're a pretty big operation, NIA and everything. So they offer a lot of like support to you, and they have systems that help you to, to develop and run your network. But you actually go a little bit beyond that with some of the things you're doing, as far as the public service and those types of things. So what kind of things do you do normally that are outside of the group, outside of NIA's system?
Well, definitely the LinkedIn help. We've got some members who just wanted to optimize their profile. Others have wanted to do a full-blown webinar, and that's something that, I help them set up. People who are looking for more Google reviews, that is a function of Network in Action. We help people. They can request a review from their phone, which, as I'm sure some of the platforms out there cost like $3,000 a year just for that. And that's included in membership. Yes, we have a community service give back component. I like the members to be a part of the decision-making process with that. Members have the option to co-author a book. We have a monthly Network with the Nation call. So if you can do business outside of your zip code, then that's an option as well. And just staying in touch with each other. It's a lot of fun.
All kinds of wonderful things. So listen, unfortunately, we've come to kind of the end of our time together here, which stinks because this is really fun. And I enjoyed talking with you. Before we leave, though, are there any final thoughts that you would like to leave our audience with?
I would say I would leave you with I'll give you 5 networking do's and 5 networking don'ts. How does that sound?
Perfect. Do it.
Okay. All right. So,
Or don't it.
That's great. Okay. So before you go to a networking event, here's the first one. Try to get up to speed on who is going to be in the room and maybe come up with some conversation starters. Number 1. Number 2, dress for success. Have you ever gone to a networking event and it's like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe that person does what they do because wow, their clothes are covered in dog hair.
Oh no.
I'm a dog lover, but another tip is go in, like if you have the jitters, stop thinking about how you're thinking and looking and feeling and think about how you can be of service to other people in the room, and that will eliminate the jitters. The next one is try to schedule a one-to-one with somebody. And if you don't have time, at least get their card. And the last tip I have is follow up within 24 hours with the people that you meet, because how people see us doing one thing is how they think we do everything.
Right.
And then
Very
I'd say
good.
some don'ts.
The don'ts.
Don't be late. Don't try to be cute with what you do. Donald Miller says choose clarity over cuteness. And, people don't want to have to go through a mental puzzle to figure out what you do. So try to be clear about who you are and what you do. Don't hang out with people you already know. Get out of your comfort zone and go strike up a conversation with someone you've never met. Don't be glued to your phone. And let's see, I guess don't be a wallflower would be the last thing. That's all I've got.
Those are all great tips, all great do's and don'ts. I love it. Thank you so much for that, Tracy. Hey, so if somebody wants to join your group or just wants to find out more about you or NIA, how did they go about doing that?
Yeah, 3 different ways. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I am on there every single day. Number 1. Number 2, You send me an email, tracy@tracydavison.net, or give me a call, 315-212-8187.
There we go. Hey, you got to get in touch with Tracy. She knows what she's talking about. Tracy, that's all we have. Thank you so much for being with us today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Neal. My pleasure.
Outstanding. Folks, that's all we have for today. That's our show. So thrilled you could be with us. Business Breakthroughs is sponsored by Titan Media Works. Check us out at titanmediaworks.com. That's Works spelled WORX. And also check out all of our other great hosts on the Small Business Delivered Network at smallbusinessdelivered.com. Until next time, keep networking. We can't wait to see you again. Take care and have a great day.